Take That, the wonderful, well, I suppose they're not a boy band anymore, are they? Nearly 20 years since they first hit the charts. Have they still got it, though? Well, last week they kicked off the Circus Live tour, which sold out in record time, became the biggest selling tour the UK has ever seen. Well, didn't that look incredible? And one man who's been to Take That's concert, and he knows them all very well, is the Sun's Gordon Smart, editor, of course, of the Bazaar column. Great to see you, and wow, that looks amazing. Yeah, it's a top night out. I mean, I'm an Oasis fan, right, and I've never been a huge pop fan. But I think I've reached an age in my life now where I'm a self-confessed Take That fanatic. Fabulous. Good, you've come out. And I have. Loud and proud. But they've spent a bomb on this, haven't they? They've spent an awful lot of money on this. Yeah, it's not cheap. £10 million they spent on it. Wow. And I tell you what, you can tell. And I spoke to Gary Barlow about it afterwards. And he did say we could have done this for £5 million, but we want to give fans something special. Tickets cost £50, and if you ask me, after seeing it, it's worth £100 easily. Really? You know, I would have paid £100 to see that. Do you know, that's so refreshing, because so often you hear of people saying, oh, they went to the concert and it was a bit of a rip-off and this happened and that happened. But what I really like about them is it's like they're so excited about being back. They want to give something back to everybody else, to all the fans. Yeah, you get that feeling from them, you know, and speaking to them afterwards as well, they just wanted to make everybody smile and have a really good night. You get 2.5 hours of entertainment. It's absolutely spectacular. You won't see anything like it this summer. It is probably the best gig I've seen, and that says a lot, because I've seen U2 live, I've seen Coldplay, I've seen the Rolling Stones even on their Bigger Bang tour. The set, the money they spent on it, the production, the dancers, the acrobats, the trapeze artists, all that stuff makes it an amazing show. Are there elephants? There's one giant elephant, yeah. Oh wow, look at that, that's amazing. It's quite difficult to describe how it happens, but you want to see how the crowd reacts when that huge elephant appears, because it comes from nowhere on a stage in the middle of the stadium, and the lads all on top of it sort of march through to the main stage, but it's incredible. But you've known them all for years and years and years. Would you say that now, second time round, they're enjoying it much more? Well, I think there's two things. I think they're enjoying it more, and I think they're better this time round as well. They're much more content, much more relaxed. You know, they seem like a happier bunch of lads, and you know, it says a lot to say it, but I think they're better without Robbie. Really? Ooh, I do actually think they're better without Robbie. And it's really interesting how things have changed. You know, when you think that not that long ago, he was one of the biggest stars in Britain, certainly. I mean, I know he tried to crack America and it didn't quite work, and they were, I don't know, they were just kind of going on reality shows and sort of at home, you know, and not really doing very much. Well, Gary Barlow sat at home eating biscuits, wasn't he? He was, and has said, you know, he sat there and he got fatter and fatter and fatter and more miserable. And he was an unhappy man, and if you look at them now, they're the most content, settled, happy boys you'll ever meet, you know, or men. They are, I know we keep calling them a boy band. They're a man band. They're a man band, they're a man band. But this is what they had to say about what it's like this time, second time round.
It's easier. It's a lot more relaxed. We have families to go back to when we go home. We bring them on the road. It's more relaxed atmosphere. I think we're all happy within ourselves and we know each other a lot more. And day by day we become more and more friends, except for Jane Mark last night.
We've developed a tendency to have a little squabble now. I think it's we're like husband and wife, really. Yeah. I'm the husband.
You want to make that very clear. But obviously they get on incredibly well. You can see that there. There's no sort of egos. There's no kind of like who wants to be better than anybody else. That's really refreshing too. It's a pleasure to be around them. You know, often if you go on tour with bands and you spend a bit of time backstage, it can be a bit uncomfortable. Egos flying around. There's none of that here. You know, they are lovely, lovely men and really welcoming and friendly guys. You know, they're as nice to me as they are to, you know, their aunties and uncles and relatives. So you mentioned Robbie, and you said that they're probably better without him. Does that mean that that's because I know there's still an awful lot of die-hard Take That fans. They would absolutely love to see them getting together again and them being five again. Do you think that's ever likely to happen? It's a big dilemma for them, right? They don't need them back, but I think all of the lads are at a stage in their life now where they're quite able to sort of let bygones be bygones and put all that bad history behind them. And I think if it does happen, the last two shows they're doing will be filmed for a DVD, and if you ask me, it'll happen then. And
you know, they're such good lads that it wouldn't surprise me if they did it just for one last goodbye, you know. And I think it could be a good laugh. They don't need to do it, and I think their girlfriends and wives would probably say it's a bad idea. But, you know, it could happen.
But in a way, because they don't need to, it's actually quite a good gesture of kind of just, it kind of just completes the circle in a way. You know, it would be quite a good thing to do.
It would be a good gesture. It would be a good way to just sort of put an end to it all and all the speculation and rumour. And I don't know, would Robbie do it? Because would it draw away from his album coming out, or would it be the most perfect publicity stunt ever?
I think it probably would.
It would be, wouldn't it?
It would be the most perfect publicity stunt ever.
He needs them more than they need him.
Isn't that extraordinary? The way things were. It just shows you can never tell in the wacky world of showbiz. Gordon, thank you. It's always a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much. Right, after the break, Mark's here with accessories to update your summer look without, of course, spending a fortune. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
For customers, though, David,